Hello and welcome back to my channel, which you may have noticed has been renamed to Merlin Awakened. And for those that have stuck with me during my sabbatical, or I probably haven't done a video for nearly 2 months now, so the reason for that I'll get to later in the video. For those that are new and for those that have just discovered me, please remember to like and subscribe. Helps my channel grow. We've always got to help the little guys to become the big guys. So, why the sabbatical? Why the England shirt rather than those that are regular on the channel and watch that I've normally got some kind of spiritual looking t-shirt on, and this is a spiritual channel and you're wondering why is he wearing a football shirt? Don't worry, you haven't tuned into the wrong one, although from the thumbnail there's a bit of both. So what is this really about? Well, what this video is really about is a common thing that you come across within the spiritual arena. Is that a lot of spiritual people don't like doing the human journey, so they become ungrounded. It's a common trap that we all fall into along our journey. You may be there right now. You may be wondering, going, well, isn't being enlightened about ascending out of this human condition or not being a slave to it, which is actually the wrong way of going about it. It can be a combination of spiritual ego, not understanding the journey, not figuring out how we're supposed to be. The ultimate reason, though, is that when our spiritual journey really kicks in, it does tend to be the one that rules the roost. So why did I have a 2 month sabbatical? I don't know the exact time. Might be a month and a half, might be 3 months. I can't remember the last time I did a video. That's how long it's been. Far too long, put it that way. But I was actually honouring my human journey. I was honouring the Roy part of me rather than the Merlin part of me. That meant going back into secular employment and stepping away from doing readings and mentoring and all of those sound healing and all of those amazing things that I do that are people generally consider as spiritual tools, spiritual gifts, and so on and so forth. And so I took a step back to see if the Merlin side of me was supposed to just be an energetic background thing that hummed in the background, that ran things in the background, and was there not to be a foreground thing. Well, as you can tell, that 2-3 months further down the line, it actually went, well, actually, no, you can't step away from that and be solely human. At the same time, as the thumbnail suggests, I can't also be fully spiritual and step away from the human. So you've got to be fully grounded, and to be fully present in the now, you've actually truly got to honour your human self, warts and all. So, because without this human form, we can't have these amazing spiritual gifts of clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairalience, claircognizance, and the one or two that I may have missed there. Because we need this physical vessel to experience those energetic gifts that present themselves through the human body. And if you don't honor that human, then there becomes a disconnect. And again, I do actually see there's a lot in the spiritual industry. People often say, well, I hate the human side of me. I hate being human. It's hard, it's lethargic, it's aches and pains and dark thoughts and all of those actually amazing things you get. That, yes, it is challenging being a human, don't get me wrong. The further you on later on you get in life, the more challenges present themselves, or sometimes there's less challenges depending on your life's journey and how you ascend through the human journey. That's actually the key to ascending in your spiritual journey, is actually to do it via this human vessel. I fully honour my human self. So at the moment, like long before I fully really stepped into my spiritual journey and just became fully aware of the Merlin stuff and the abilities and the gifts and the feelings of being an empath and all of those things that I honour now, my human self was actually enjoying the world game, football. So every 4 years there's this gigantic tournament that's actually getting bigger now that I loved and followed long before I really fully stepped into the spiritual journey and learn how to blend them both. Because, played football for 20 odd years, intuition was often there during the game. I was able to, read the game and do things that just took over my physical human form, and that enhanced what I was doing on the physical realm. So it would be remiss of me to not watch the World Cup and to say, well, it's not a spiritual thing to do. It's sport, it's competition, it's ego, it's all of those things. But it's actually really deeply entwined into who I am. Yes, I'm following England, and for those that are members of the channel that do know me a little bit, they also know I follow Manchester United. That's in the thumbnail. So I'm just letting you know the little inconsistencies between the thumbnail, the video, and the shirt that I'm wearing, and all the spirituality. But the good thing is I'm also showing you that you can blend them. It's about swapping hats. So at the moment I've got a massive World Cup hat on. I've watched probably 95% of the games. The good thing about live TV, you can record it, you can pause it, and you can watch it later, so you can still sleep in and honour the human vessel and make sure it's getting rest. But then also, spirit do like to talk to us while we're asleep. So to get a good amount of sleep, now that varies from person to person. My body thrives on 6 to 7 hours. Some people need longer. There is people out there that do need shorter as well. So this is a combination where knowing your human body, but following it from a spiritual perspective, like listening to what your body is saying to you rather than what society expects or doctors or medical, and when your body's contradicting what those branches of the world may say. The common consensus, we've got to drink X amount of litres of water a day, or we've got to have X amount of sleep per night for the body to fully recover. Your body may be very different. And if you listen to your body and tune into your body, which for me is a spiritual aspect, a spiritual ability to tune into your inner tuition, your intuition, which again is a bodily function to a certain degree. It blends with the human and the spiritual and the energetical and the mental as well. So by blending all of these things, we do stay very grounded, because there's periods throughout the day that just needs our human self. We don't need a deep and meaningful tuning into what the spiritual meaning of why a piece of toast has got an image on it that looks a certain way. It's just a piece of toast sometimes. And honouring that human journey on a daily basis actually keeps you very grounded. Being very grounded is very, very beneficial for manifesting, because when we're asking the universe, God, whoever your denomination is, to manifest something out of nothing, create a miracle, let's say, it has to become physical for us to experience that. So, and that also involves in doing things that we love. And again, one of the things that helped teach me about how love feels is football. I grew up playing it as a kid, and every waking moment I used to kick around the football, and then started supporting, started watching, started playing, started going to games. It's been with me throughout my whole human journey, but also been with me throughout my whole spiritual journey. It's never going to leave me. So if I started hating the human and stepped back away from something that I loved, that would not be beneficial for my spiritual journey. So you can apply this to anywhere in your life. So if there's something that you love and your spiritual journey is really starting to awaken, and you're going, well, do I still watch sport, or do I still do insert your favorite thing here that you love, or is that going to affect my spiritual journey? Actually, no, it should, in the most best possible way. It should benefit your spiritual journey, because it helps keep you grounded. It helps keeps you tuned into that energy of love, which is the most powerful force of the universe, so that when you're applying manifesting and you're tuning into something else that you love or you desire into your life, and you're trying to manifest, whether it's a car, a home, a relationship, that thing that you loved before your spiritual journey truly opened up has taught you what that feels like. So then you can tune into that energy while manifesting something new. that's kind of, yeah, in a very, very simplistic way on how it works. There's a lot more intricacies to this that would be such a challenge to explain, that really you've just got to do it through trial and error, figure out your energy works, find, and along the way find out what your, the parts of your shadow that still need to be worked on, to be accessed and to be loved. Because we can never get rid of shadow either. That's another big part, human part of us, from a mental psychology perspective, that these things we learnt growing up, that from how we were raised, the environment where we grew up, all these physical world factors that have a massive influence on us, until we either move beyond it, realize it's no longer serving us, and change certain things, whether it's neural pathways, environment, partnerships, home. All these things can be changed, but they still remain, because some of those things we do need: home, relationships. You can't go through life without any kind of relationship, because you have a relationship with yourself, to be honest. That's your first and foremost important relationship to have. And that's based on both the spiritual, the mental, the human, the physical, all different layers of different energies and different levels of physical matter. So honoring your human self is a massive, massive part of who you are on a daily basis. That if you're watching this video and you find yourself, and please like and subscribe, and if you find yourself that you're saying to yourself on a regular basis or even a daily basis that you just don't like your human self, then you're disconnected from self, and your spiritual journey will suffer. Your awakening journey will suffer until you become one with your mind, body, spirit. The Holy Trinity of self, higher self, and mental self, I suppose. There's many different ways you can put it: Mother, Maiden, Crone, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. The Holy Trinity is there in many, many different forms, but it's just basically the id, ego. There's just so many different forms of that Holy Trinity, that when we honor each and every one and each and every component of that, then we will feel more balanced on a day-to-day basis. Yes, there's going to be days where we're off and we can't do one, or we just have to be fully human, and there are going to be days where just being fully spiritual is the way to go. It's not a fixed 3-time balance throughout the day. Sometimes you're just human, sometimes you're spiritual, sometimes you're in a physical realm. Many, many different ways and methods to handle on your day-to-day basis. And again, it's a spiritual practice. It's called a spiritual practice for a reason, because you got to practice spirituality every day, and that looks different to each and every individual on what your spiritual journey. So you can look at others, you can assess what they might be doing to see if it gives you a gauge of where you're at. There's nothing wrong with that, but ultimately you've still got to follow your journey. And for me at the moment, I'm just following the World Cup. I'm following my passion that's been with me for my whole life, because it's a passion I can't turn off. And if I try, I feel weird and wrong, and the universe goes, well, actually, you can't do that, which I tried with my spiritual journey over the last couple of months. I thought, well, do I need to be a bit more earth-based? So I moved the Merlin stuff to be more Roy Bristow counselling, and aimed more at the mainstream. But again, it was just like the universe snapped back and went, well, that's not your journey, it's not who you are. So then it just transitioned back to the I am Merlin again, but more Merlin awakened, because it was just a reminder going, well, that's your energetic core. Roy is your physical core. They work together. They can never be separate. So yeah, that's where I'll end it today. The videos will start becoming more frequent again. I appreciate all of those that watched, and if you're returning and glad that I'm back, please leave a comment and say hi, or let me know where you're at in your spiritual journey, or if you're actually saying at this moment in time that you don't like the human version of you, then that's okay. It's all part of the journey. And also put in the comments, like, if you're from around the world, let me know which football team you're following in the World Cup. If your country's team is there, and if they're still there, because we're at the knockout stages now, so some of the teams have gone home, they haven't made it. No, England luckily have done. Whether they'll beat Mexico at the Azteca in the heat, we'll find out in a few days. So thanks very much for watching. And also, yes, just quickly, weekly lives for the animal totem readings will be back too. So I'm going fully back into the Merlin Awakened stuff, back to where it was a while back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to doing those because I've got a couple of new decks as well. I've got a new tarot deck and a new animal totem deck, and so I'm looking forward to working with those and seeing what energies come out. It should be lots of fun. So I'll see you all soon. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.